Hi, this is Tweek. Welcome to another episode of Tweeks with Tweek. Today I'm going to start a series that I've been thinking about for a while. I call it E.S.P, Endangered Species Project, where I am going to take cardboard and paint and highlight one of the animals that we share the planet with. So join us. The supplies you'll need for this project are cardboard. We'll need little bits of foam, paper, paints and brushes, and water, some glitter, a hot glue gun. We'll need an Exacto knife or a pair of scissors. We'll need pencil, something to draw with, or a Sharpie. We'll need some chain. We'll need some varnish and some regular glue. Now let's get started. To begin the project, I looked for an image of a whale. Once I found that, took a piece of paper and a pen, a Sharpie, pencil actually, because I did have to do some erasing, and I drew myself a whale. And then I copied it. I laid another sheet of paper over the top and traced it out, so I had two copies, one to refer to and one that I could cut up, think like a puzzle piece. And once I cut it out, I traced it onto the cardboard. This is my main piece. So I've got my whale cut out here. Then I took the cutout piece, and I just cut out chunks of it, like a puzzle. Think of it like a puzzle. So I had the fin, and here's his mouth area, and here's his belly area. And then I traced those out onto cardboard and cut them out as well. And here's what I ended up with. I ended up layering them. So I have another big body, see that? And I've got the mouth area, the belly, fin, I've got a place for the eye, and the big fin in the back. And this is more or less just we're adding dimension to the whale. I didn't want him to be just a flat piece of cardboard, although that could look pretty nice too. So what I got to do next is start painting these pieces. And I want to start by painting the first one I drew out. And what I'm going to do with that one is cut it a little bit outside of the line. So he's a little bit bigger than the others I cut out. So let's do that. We're going to cut out a whale. And I'm just going to go along the edge. And what the Exacto knife doesn't catch, I'll get with scissors. So I've got several layers here that I'm going to bring together to make some dimension to our whale. So this is the piece we just cut out. Then I'm going to layer. This is the next piece. I'm going to put a little bit of a spacer between them. You get a little bit of depth. And then the next piece. And you see how they're just a little bit off from each other? I like that. Blue whales. They have a lot of blue. They have a lot of gray. So I'm just going to make a bunch of paint color here. See what we come up with. Making a lot because I'm going to need a lot. Your blue whale, you need a little bit darker color on you. Whatever this color is, we're going to run with it. I'm not trying to make them as realistic as I want them to be seen as what they are, a blue whale. Let's see how this goes. Wow, that's very, very blue. Okay, so this is the bottom piece. Yes, I'm going to get full of paint. So you can see that the cardboard is already starting to ripple up. I love that. I'm going to lighten up the next level just a bit. Think of it as like maybe a shadowing. I want the next level to be a little lighter. Bring it on. Move over here to dry, please. It dries pretty fast. I'm going to add a little bit of, I had a cream color here. No, you know what? I think I'm going to go with gray. Pull up the color a little bit. It's pretty dark. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit lighter. Cardboard is just such a wonderful resource. There's plenty of it to be had. Easy to work with. You get an idea of how the two are going to look when I start layering them. That's kind of cool, huh? Okay. And the third level. Okay, I'm going to really punch up the color and add something more akin to what the whale actually looks like, which is a little bit lighter and gray. They call it the blue whale for a reason. If you ever get a chance to go out to Bar Harbor, Maine and see the humpback whales, that is really a fun trip. Very, very cold on the Atlantic Ocean, but really fun to see the whales. What I'm going to do next is start bringing these pieces together. So I have had time to clean up a little bit, and they have had time to dry a little bit. So let's go back to the first one we did, the dark blue. Oh, this would be a nice collage on a wall, wouldn't it? It's beautiful. Blue whales. Okay. What I'm going to do is we'll cut out strips of cardboard. Don't have to be fussy at all, just want space between the two levels. So I've got like 5, the main part of the body, 1 towards the tail. So first I'm going to attach these guys down. Here we go, glue gun. Little dab of glue, little dab of glue. Now don't put one on the top yet. You're making like a cardboard and glue sandwich. So now I've got a little bit of depth going between, and bring up the next layer. A little bit lighter blue. I'm just going to let him rest. Make sure I got that positioned how I'd like to. Okay, I'm going to go for it. Dab, dab. Work fast before the glue dries. Okay, got it. Oh, this is a good scrap right here. You could even tear off the scraps if you want to. This cardboard is so thin that it's really easy to work with. Okay, scraps. Oops, let me put you back down here. All right, here we go. Same thing. Cut out some squares. We'll start filing them up. I'm trying to come a little closer in so you don't see them on the edge. So let's go back again, attach them, giving us our little bit of spacing. It's kind of spongy, isn't it? Listen to that. Okay, let's see how you're doing. Are you dry? Almost. Oops. Boy, this one keeps wanting to fly away. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2. You got just a few seconds of wiggle room before they adhere. I've got me a whale stack here. Whale sandwich. Ooh, good. All right, we got a main body done. Now, remember when I said I took the pattern and cut it up like puzzle pieces? So I did one for the fluke. I have to decide how I want that to be on there. This was his, there it goes. That was his main mouthpiece, right around his fin. This was a belly piece. We're going to lift these up a little bit too. And then I had, this is pure decorative, on the top as well. Make sure I've got this going the right way. And then he's got a little eyeball I cut out right in here. I've got to decide how many levels up I want to go on the eye. And there again, I want to go ahead and paint those out. I'm thinking, let's do that part and then I can augment the end. So let's paint these little puzzle pieces. These two are going to be a creamy white underbelly. I'm going to take the cream and I'm going to add some white to it to lighten it up. Well, it might be a little bit still too creamy. It's actually looking pretty nice with my dirty brush, bringing some blue in there. I didn't intend on that. Gosh, that's actually going to look pretty well. Still want more white in it though. And see how the cardboard is starting to pick up the paint and it's starting to bubble out. That's kind of cool. So this is just like a decorative piece on the top. They would have dots or, you know, areas where they've been sun bleached a little as they come up for air, who knows. But I want just a little bit. I'm going to use up this creamy color here. I want just a little bit of variegated color up in there. See, I'm just not even really trying to blend it much. I just want no fuss, no muss. Just slap it on there and let the colors blend. It looks pretty cool, huh? Next, clean out the brush and work on his eyeball. Oh, and his fin. Let's do that quick. The back fluke. On this, I definitely want to lighten it up a little bit and then add a little rim of white. Okay. Come in here. I'm going to leave that edge rough because I want the white to mix in. Every whale has its own identity based on its markings. Now I got to get some more white. Let that sit. Now let's do his eyeball. I'm thinking probably we don't need 3 levels, but I'm going to do the first level in a light blue, the next level in white for his eye, and the next level in black. So let's put some light blue on this bottom level. I'm gonna get white paint on my fingers. Get it off my finger and we'll go with some black. It's like a blue black, which is even better for an eyeball. There we go. And before I get done here, I want to do one extra thing to this piece here. That's where his mouth is. So I'm going to come along here with this black and I'm just going to lay some in there. It does not have to be perfect. You're just going to see that that is a mouth there. Coming up a little bit on the edge. And I'm going to lose some of that dark, but that's okay too. Okay, got it. All right, so as things are drying, I have a few little touches because we're going to varnish this whole piece. So if you want to add paint now, is the time to do it. I'm just going to put a little dot in that eye, you know, the little dot of light that's in a creature's eyes. And I wanted to do something with this decorative top. Yeah, I want to add, I think I'll do that after we attach it. It's still kind of wet. So I'm using the hairdryer to speed the drying process along. I'm using this to hang onto it while it dries so it doesn't blow away. So let's start reconstructing the next level on our whale. Okay, so that's going to go there. And this piece will go up here. And then this piece will go down here where his belly is. And there's the fluke. So we've got those pieces. And then the eyeball, which is 3 layers. And that eyeball sits right around towards the base of their mouth. And then there's that piece and then the little pupil piece. So that's our whale so far. I need to add these pieces. I'm going to add a little bit, again, a little bit of depth by putting a piece of cardboard. But this time I'm only going to add 1 piece of cardboard just to bring it up a little bit and offer some shadow on his body. So let's take you off for right now. And I've got a bunch of little pieces cut up already. So decisions. How do we want it to look? And we'll do a couple over here. Let's see if I have a thinner one. Here's a good one. Oop. And I'll tack that down. Okay, let's do this part. I'm lining up the mouth with his fin right here. Good. Next. Close to the fin. Again, I'm lining up with that fin and with the angle on his belly. Right. Next, do that fin let's do this top. I think I'm going to flip them around to do that. Make sure I have the right curvature here. This just represents the colorful backs they have. All right, now these ones I'm going to use a little bit smaller pieces so that they don't show. If they really show and you don't like it, I could jab some paint in there to cover them up a little more. I think that's going to work though. Take a little bit to tack this down a little bit. All right. Okay, well, how about a tail? Your fluke. Try to get it right up to the tip there. So it puts a little more definition down there, right along the edge. I don't want it too thick. Gonna stay? Yep, good. Eyeball next. This already has 3 layers, so I'm just gonna lay it as is. You line up with that fin in the bottom of their mouth. Which way is this whale looking? I like it him looking back. All right, we've got our puzzle pieces in. Now I've got to put some lines in his mouth area. And to that, I'm going to refer back to my piece that I had made. See that? So I want to add these lines in. I'm going to do that very carefully. And just use that as a guide. It won't be exactly like this, but it'll be similar. So I'm going to get some Payne's Gray. I guess you could use black, but I'm going with Payne's Gray. It's a blue gray. So I've got my pretty fluid paint here. I don't want it to be really goopy. I'm just gonna, everything around me is dry. I'm just gonna pull a line down. Okay, see how black that looks? It doesn't have to be exacting. It isn't on the whale. And then you just make lines coming down. There we go. There's our whale. Now we gotta do it up this side. Okay, this one's a little easier because the expanse isn't as far. Don't necessarily meet up with the front ones. But there. We've got our lines on our whale. Now I want to add something to the top. I want to add just a hint of eyebrow. Oh, he's looking at us. And now I just want to have a little bit of fun on the top. Think barnacles. I'm just going to add a few random dots of color up top, and I'm going to use the top of my pencil. So I added barnacles. I'm knocking them back a little bit. I'm just kind of having some fun. And some highlights up where he might be a little more sun-bleached. What do you think? Yeah. And just a little bit of highlight. All right, before we varnish, I'm going to add a hanger. And this is pretty simple. I got some of this bead. Kind you see on like a keychain. And I'm just going to poke a hole, wind this through, attach the little attachers. I think that'll be a good amount. We just cut this off with our scissors, the length we like. Then to get the hole, you could use the scissors, but I'm using a meat thermometer just because it's nice and sharp enough to get through this. It makes a nice hole. And I can drop this bead chain right through. See? Easy peasy. Let's do it on the other side. And this way I can either have a long chain or a shorter chain. Attach these two little pieces together with this little connector. They're very tiny, so oh goodness. And snap it in place. There it goes, see? And then we just gotta do it the other side. Just let the little teeny bead rest in that little space and then snap it into place. Good. So now I've got chain to hang my wheel. Simple, huh? Now we can varnish. That chain was easy. This is where the little nicks and crannies in the cardboard starts popping out. Or maybe just because the varnish augments that. You see the light reflect off the little bumps. I'm not going inside, I'm just sticking to the outside of this whale. And it doesn't take that long because we're not doing anything really but the top layer. Catching a little bit of the fin here. What little bit you can see. How does that ever bring out the color? That makes him look shiny, like he's jumping out of the water, huh? He is all dry. And there you have it. We have our whale. Isn't he cute? Oh, I love him. He's made of cardboard and paint, and he's a friendly reminder that we need to think about the creatures we share the planet with, don't we? Yes, we do. So if you like what you've seen here today, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and remember to listen for the bell so you know when another episode of Tweeks with Tweek is coming along. Until then, think about the whales. I'll see you again.